What's up, y'all? Hope all is well with y'all today. I just wanted to say this right quick to y'all. When you're praying for patience, praying for courage, praying for strength, praying for new beginnings, praying for peace, you have to understand and be mindful of what you're praying for. And it's not that you're praying for anything that's bad. Those are good things to pray for. When you're praying for discernment, when you're praying for love, or whatever it is you're praying for, you have to understand that in order to achieve said thing, you have to go through the motions. You have to have situations to come upon you for those traits to be built up within you. So understand, when things are happening to you, it's because it's working out for you. It's teaching you to have those traits that you're praying for. When you're praying for patience, that's one thing I had to learn um in my journey, me being on my spiritual journey and realizing, okay, you're praying for patience. Situations have to arise. Situations with your children have to arise. Situation with their dads have to arise. Situations within your career has to arise that's going to cause you to be patient. Because a lot of us, we want instant gratification. We want instant success. We want to, take the elevator to everything, the elevator to the perfect love life, the elevator to success, the elevator to having our best bodies. We want to look good and all of this stuff, but we have to understand that you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested. So if you want patience, you're going to go through the motions of losing weight slowly. The pounds ain't going to just fall off instantly. You want a great love life. You're not going to just be able to just get with anybody you see. You want to have discernment. You're going to be presented with a counterfeit version versus the real thing. So that way you can use your intuition. That's what God gives you, the ability to go within and use your discernment to see, hey, is this person the counterfeit or is it the real thing? Based on what's been displaying to me, based on what I've been through in my past. You say you ready for whatever it is that you say you ready for, you're going to be tested to see, are you really ready for that? Have you really learned that? Do you really want this trait? Do you really want to know how to have discernment? Do you really want real love? Because in order to have real love, you're going to have it's other traits that you're going to have to embody to get that. Are you really ready to compromise if you want real love? Are you really ready to just be patient with your process when your business ain't just taking off, when you building your social media following, when you building your brand and the views ain't doing what you want them to do and the numbers ain't doing what you want them to do and you ain't getting everything you want to do? When you say you really want a relationship with God, are you going to turn your back on him when stuff get tough because he ain't answering your prayers right when you want to? Do you really have faith? This is why we go through certain situations in our life. It's to test to see, do you really want this thing? Do you really want this thing? Because you have to go through the motions. You have to go through certain situations. That's what builds the strength in you. That's what builds your discernment. That's what builds your faith. That's what builds your love. That's what builds your body. If you having weight goals and everything, you have to be tested. You got to be put to the test. Okay. You have to know. So when you praying for things, understand that stuff just not going to show up at your doorstep. You praying, like we know New Year's is upcoming, it's coming across the Himalayas, and people get ready to be right in that gym. Their New Year's resolution is to get that body in order. Okay, so when you present it on January 2nd, when you present it, when your homegirl birthday pop up, or your family have an event or something, and you tempted with this thing, are you going to give in to the pressure of the food that they have there because you love desserts? Or when you say, I want to stop drinking so much this year, I don't want to drink that much this year. Okay, when you presented with these opportunities to go into these rooms where you know liquor is going to be there, do you have the self-awareness within yourself to know, I'm not ready, I'm on a journey with delivering myself from drinking or smoking or whatever it is? Are you going to put yourself even in that environment? Are you going to, even if you know you don't have the capacity right now to turn it down, you don't have the heart strong boundaries that you need in place for your own self right now to put yourself in that room, are you still going to go? And this is what life is teaching many of us right now. It has been teaching us forever, for real. It's knowing what you're ready for and what you're not ready for. Some of the things that we pray for, we're not ready for it yet. And that's why during your like single season, during your down season, when the numbers are low, when things are slow, when everything's set back, just like what happened during the pandemic, that was a time to slow people down. So you can, things that you've been praying for, wanting for, it was a time to sit back, stop moving so fast, sit back, reevaluate, see what's working for you, what's not working for you. And it's time to make some changes. And as we come into the new year, everybody, a lot of people do some, this is the time of year where we do a lot of evaluating our lives. Like, what happened this year? Why did this happen? Why did this not happen? What don't I want to happen again in the new year? So you got to ask yourself, what things is it about me that I need to change so that I don't bring these same things into the new year? So that I don't bring this self-sabotage into my new dreams and aspirations for the new year. What things is it about me that I'm doing or not doing that's contributing to any of the downfalls in my life? And this is where accountability comes in, and what having true emotional intelligence is being able to reflect on you, reflect on your emotions, understand yourself, and not just point the finger at everybody else. Because even times we want to point the finger at God, and we want to point the finger at mama, daddy, boyfriend, husband, wife, girlfriend, sister. We want to point the finger at other people to avoid doing the accountability, to avoid taking accountability, and to avoid doing the inner work that we need to do. Because a lot of us do suffer from a lack of patience. And I know that is something truly that I'm realizing, because before I just did this little video, I was just sitting here talking to myself about that. I'm like, my patience, I prayed for patience, and the past, like, things have been the way it is because it's to really help me with the patience that I prayed for. When I'm not getting that instant turnaround that I want, I'm not getting the quick money like I want, the things that's not happening, I'm not getting it. But I once again realize it's a test of patience. Even when it comes to my children, with doing schooling with them, it's testing my patience. I ask for more patience with my children so that I ain't just hollering and getting upset as soon as they don't do something or get something. So situations had to arise for me to test my patience. And that's why I realized I'm really learning to have patience. I still got more work to do, but things have to happen for that to be tested to see, okay, are you learning or are you not? Are you getting discipline or are you not? Have you learned any lessons? Do you truly want patience? Do you truly want the things that you're asking for? And if you do, you're going to have to go through the motions to see, okay, like you can't know what you're made of until you're put in situations to test to see what you're really made of. So that's what I really just wanted to talk to y'all about today. Like, so be careful about what you're praying for. Praying for these things are good things. Even if you're praying for love, but understand that you're going to get tested to see if you're ready for it. You're going to get tested to see if you're selfish or not. Because when it comes to love, and that's in any relationship, if you're selfish and you're all about you and you don't understand compromise, you're never going to have a peaceful, loving relationship with anybody. You don't even have that peaceful, loving relationship with yourself because you're not accountable. You don't love yourself until you're able to see the right and wrong about yourself, to go within yourself, to see what you're made of, to get rid of your own self-sabotaging ways, your own imposter syndrome, learning how to conduct yourself when things ain't going the way you want. We have to do, that's why it's so important when you're single, if you're in a season of single, work on you. Don't be out here looking for attention and having all these distractions around you to avoid going within, doing the inner work that you need to do on yourself, because that's only going to do you a disservice when you jump into the next thing, when you go to the next job, everything. And it's funny because one of the girls that I follow on Instagram, she owns a boutique, and she does coaching to boutique owners. And what she said, it was like, wow, because she was basically saying that a lot of the people that's coming to get coaching for their business, they need therapists. She said, y'all come to the coaching calls and y'all are talking about y'all personal issues, y'all relationship issues, y'all life issues, your trauma. You need to focus on that, because until you focus on the things that are clouding your mind, clouding your judgment, the things within that is causing you unhappiness within, that you have not dealt with within, you're never going to be able to fully focus on creating. You're never going to be able to fully focus on your business and getting what you need, because you haven't handled the true root of what your problems are. The reason why you can't really thrive in your business, because you don't have the discipline within yourself, even without the business. So when she said that, I was like, she's right. Like, people do really, like, the more you interact with people in the world, or the more I interact anyway. When I just listen to people, like, I just listen to people conversations, and just see what people be saying. I read body language. I told y'all I can just feel energies, and I just be like, people, really, it's a lot of sadness behind the dressed up stuff that we do. People be out here trying to look good and focus on looking good whole time, and the inside, it's a lot of suffering that you got going on. You don't even realize that's the reason why you can't show up consistently for your business, why you can't show up consistently for anything. And when you want to grow, you have to understand consistency and patience. And a lot of us do have a thing where we want instant gratification. We want everything instantly. We want to get into relationships, and then by tomorrow we want to be in love. We rush everything. We rush everything. And that's why everything that you rush, it comes falling down just as quickly. The quicker you get into it, the quicker it ends, because you didn't have patience. You didn't trust the process, because we don't like to take the stairs to nothing. We don't want to take the stairs in love. We don't want to take the stairs in success. We don't want to take the stairs to health, true health. We want instant gratification, going on these quick fix diets, but we haven't changed the root of why we emotionally eat. We haven't switched out the bad behaviors for good behaviors. We haven't done these things, so we wonder why we gain all the weight back. And that's something that I'm learning right now. Is like, when you feel certain type of ways, that don't mean just go stuff your face just because something ain't happened that you want to happen, and now you mad, and now you feeling like the God let you down, and nothing you don't deserve. When you feel all of these ways, it's about having healthier coping mechanisms versus things that lead to self-sabotaging behaviors that's only going to do you more harm than good. The pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. And when we learn to have that discipline in our lives, we won't have so many regrets later. We like to take the quick way to everything because we don't want to take the time out that we need to get true discipline. That takes time, and it takes consistency of that thing every single day, because it has to become a lifestyle for you. It has to become a lifestyle. So we have to understand this, you guys. But I'm gonna leave that here. I just wanted to say that I was sitting here just doing some studying, and I was just thinking about this, about my own life. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, let me do a video, because this is something that I have to learn. Like, everything ain't growing the way I want it to. Everything is not happening exactly the way I want it to within my career right now. It's not happening fast enough for me. And that was part of my spiritual journey with God teaching me, just chill, just chill. I had to write down Psalms 1 yesterday, and I posted it up on my wall right here. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the way of the sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. So what had got me about that part is about in his season, that he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. In his season. And that's what I had to understand, is like everything is about in the season that God has for you. Everything it comes to pass in its season when it's meant. So until it's time for your stuff to take off, until it's time to, whatever your goal is in life, no matter what aspect it is, if you stay disciplined and you keep watering yourself, even if you're not seeing instant results, right away, keep watering it. Keep watering it. Keep removing the weeds and keep watering your seed. Keep making sure you get that good fertilizer on the seed. Keep doing what you need to do for your plant. And in due time, you will see a harvest. In due time, it will bring forth its fruit in its season. His leaf shall not wither away, and whatever he does shall prosper. So when we understand that, we learn to have more patience. And this is why I posted this up here on my wall, because it's helping me. That's why I go to the word. God will always lead me to a word, because he know I'm vocal about how I feel about things, and I be feeling like, dang, I've never been so consistent with something in my life, and I'm consistent with this, and I've risked so much just within the past 2 years with my journey. And I'm like, dang, when am I going to see the real fruit from all my labor, my sacrifice, and my obedience? When am I going to truly feel that? So I be having my issues too, talking to God, pouring my heart out to him, crying, mad. Then I go self-sabotage and go eating all this crap, knowing that I don't need to be eating that stuff, knowing that I'm actually doing myself a disservice because I can't handle my emotions about this, because I'm not meditating on his word that's promising that just stay doing what you're doing. So he'll send me a word. He even sent like Myron. A video came up from Myron Golden. I don't know if y'all know about him, but a video came up from him, and it just be like right on time. It be right on time. And then he lead me to the word. He'll lead me to something. And I was even like, I don't even want to see this. I don't want to see this scripture. I already know. But I'm just tired of waiting. Why do I always have to wait? Because that's another thing that is rooted for me from in childhood, and just feeling like I always gotta wait. It just remind me waiting. I told y'all like this long time ago. That telling me to wait and making me wait, it's like smacking me in the face. I don't like waiting. But once again, you pray for patience. So if you want to have patience, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to be put in situations that's gonna cause you to wait for it. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to weather the storm and just wait. Because it's coming, because God will never lie. His word will never come back void. He gave me a promise. So that'd be part of my little speech in here to him and everything. You told me this, but this is still happening. So it's like, once again, you got to humble yourself before the Lord, and he know what he said. Just chill. Do what he told you to do. Just keep on doing what you're supposed to do. You know what your assignment is. Keep doing that, even if you ain't seeing the results that you want to see with it, that you feel you should be receiving. Even if everything, keep watering your seed, and in its season, it will bear the fruit that it's supposed to bear for you. It will bear the fruit, but you got to stay consistent, and you want the patience. You're going to have to go through this. You're going to have to go without to test your patience. You're going to have to wait. So it just be triggering back, having to wait. Like, why I always got to wait for everything? Why I always got to wait? But it's beauty in waiting. And then I have to humble myself again to see why like even a couple months ago, it's like, okay, you had to wait because what you were praying for, housing, The house wasn't ready yet. So you gotta wait sometimes because what you want ain't even ready yet. It ain't even ready yet. God is preparing it for you. He's shifting things around for you. So you gotta wait. It ain't even ready. So how many the thing that you want is not ready yet. That's like you go to the store right now. You go to the pizza shop. You wanna the store that sell the best fresh pizza, and you want to go right in as soon as you place the order. You want your pizza to be hot and ready. You want it to be ready as soon as you get there. It's not gonna be hot. It's gonna be sitting for a while. You want it hot out the oven. You want it freshly baked. But if you get there as soon as you place your order and you think you're gonna get it right now, it ain't ready, bruh. It ain't ready. You gotta be patient. You gotta wait. You want some quality food. You want quality, right? You want longevity, right? So you gotta wait for that because sometimes it's not ready. You want a healthy relationship. You want that perfect man or that perfect woman. Sometimes they're not ready yet. So in your single season, you got to be okay with being single and wait and not just rush jumping into dealing with counterfeits out here. Because the counterfeit comes before the real thing. And it might look like what you prayed for. But the thing that came into your life was just a mask. It was not the real thing at all. And now you wondering why so much clashing because that wasn't sent from God. The enemy hears your prayers too. But you wasn't patient to wait on God, so you wanted to take what the enemy was offering you. You let him come in and tempt you, and he came in and brought some of the attributes because he heard the prayers too, but it wasn't the real thing because the person that came into your life was they were wearing a mask. They were mirroring you. They know what you want because you told them up front when you met them all the things you want. So now they know what you want. Now they can put on for a little bit. But when you want the real thing, you got to understand that God is preparing that man or that woman for you. And this is why when you're in your single season, when you're in isolation, when he has you in isolation, you got to do the work. You have to be doing the work on yourself because that is God preparing you. He's preparing you. He's making you. He's pruning you to be that woman that you need to be that man that you need to have that discipline that you need to have now. Because if you don't have discipline while you're single, you're not going to have discipline when you are in a relationship. If you don't have self-control while you're single, you're not going to have it while you're in a relationship. Slapping a title on something don't change the character of that thing, that person. You can't slap titles on it and just think all of a sudden, just because now like a day's shift, now you think something is just so different when no work was put in on it. If it was corrupt yesterday, it's going to be corrupt today if they haven't changed any ways about it. What was broken yesterday is still going to be broken today. That's just like what people about to be doing now. New Year's coming out. I'm a new person for the new year. It's only a day shift in time. It's only the next day. So if you wasn't preparing yourself beforehand, you're not going to wake up on January 1st and just be a different person. You might feel a shift, but if you don't go with the shift and you don't go with what your convictions is telling you, when God is convicting you, hey, stop doing this, you don't go with it, you're not going to make the change. God is trying to shift you, but you're not working with him. You're working against him. So you're not going to be, you're not allowing him to prune you into who you need to be so that when he give you that blessing, you know how to maintain it. You have to get prepared for what you're asking for, which is why you have to constantly do work on yourself. Working on yourself is something you have to do every day, from the way you think, from your insecurities to your discipline within yourself. This is the true hard work. True hard work is within. Relationships are hard. People say relationships are hard or marriage is hard. And it's only hard because people don't do the work that they need to even do on themselves every day. And then you're requiring something out of someone else. But you have to have that self-discipline first. You have to do it within you first, because if you learn to be disciplined within, and that person knows how to be disciplined within, you know how to compromise. They know how to compromise. It won't be so much clashing. We make things harder than it have to be because we're impatient. We're selfish. We want things instantaneously. We want things quickly. We don't want to wait. We don't understand the beauty in the wait. We get mad about having to wait. Like I just told y'all. We get mad about having to wait. But there's beauty in waiting. You don't want to rush things. If you're building a house, you don't want them rushing to build your house, just throwing anything together, getting any old type of cheap wood, throwing your house together. Got cracks in it because they wasn't precise with their measurements. They wasn't precise what they're doing because they doing a rush job. You don't like when people do rush job on your hair, rush job on your nails, rush job on anything. You don't want rush jobs. Rush jobs that might look good at first, but a couple days later, couple months later, it all began to crumble and fall apart because it was no true durability in it. It wasn't done precisely. It wasn't done with true care. Just like they say, you know, when you cooking, you want to take your time with cooking. You don't want to just rush it. You want to put love in it. You want to put tender love and care in the meal. You could tell a thrown together meal versus a meal that took time and they took their effort and they cut things like this. And you know, it's the quality. It's quality over quantity always. Okay, so I'm done talking because I wasn't supposed to make it this long, but I did want to just say this to you guys. Have patience and understand that in order to have patience, in order to have whatever it is you're praying for, you want better health, you're going to have to do discipline on yourself. God is going to test you to see, do you really want better health? Do you really want that better body without going to get a quick fix? And sometimes when you go to get these quick fixes, it actually even do worse. I mean, look at the horror stories out here about people who go get these quick fixes and it leads to more issues, you know? So take your time, be patient, trust the process, trust God's plan for your life, trust the process, and understand that in its due season, in the season that God meant it to be, it might come forth for you in the spring. That don't mean that this spring is going to come, but in an upcoming spring, it may come. We don't know if that's next year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, but it's up to you. How much work are you doing? How much faith are you having? And situations is going to arise to test your faith. It's going to arise. So I'll see y'all in the next video.